Welcome to another tech video. We're going to be having a look at another Lenovo. This one is the V15 Gen 2 ALC. So here we have the Lenovo V15. This is a Ryzen 5 5500U. It's got 6-core processor, it runs at 2.1 GHz, boosting up to 4 GHz, and it comes with L2 and L3 cache. Inside the box we've got our power adapter. This is a 65-watt charger. Packaging wise, it's your standard Lenovo foam packing. And it comes wrapped in a plastic bag. So this is a fairly standard laptop from Lenovo. Weight wise, it's fairly light, 1.7 kilos. You can see the dimensions of it, standard dimensions, 15.5 inch screen. Comes in this sort of black plastic finish with our Lenovo silver badge on the side. Underneath we've got some air intake, and underneath the screen here we've got exhaust, no other exhaust outlets. Typical keyboard screen protector, and that's pretty much all we need to say at the moment. On your power button there, this is a non-fingerprint reader. You get a little bit of plastic, so you might want to peel that off before you start. And then we've got our typical badges here and our trackpad here. No trackback dongle in the centre. Looking around the unit, so on the side here we've got our power input, our power LED. We've got a USB Type A 3.2 Gen 1, so that's 5 gigabit a second throughput, data transfer only. Next up we've got our HDMI out. We've got a USB Type C 3.2 Gen 1 port, so this is data transfer. It doesn't support display out. And then we've got our headset jack, so that's combined headphone and microphone. On the other side we've got our Kensington lock, we've got another USB Type A port, and then we've got our RJ45 connector, so this is 10100 gigabit support. And then we've got our hard reset port there, and then we've got our on-off indicator. I'm presuming that that is also our hard disk indicator. That's it. So let's now get inside it and have a look at the upgrade options. So to get inside the unit you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, a spreader tool, and a nylon prizer tool. And then as you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 screws all the way around it, 12 screws probably. So the unit itself, you've got two different sizes of screws. So around the back and across the middle you've got one length, and then across the front you've got smaller length screws. Okay, so getting into the unit, it would appear that the actual base seal goes all the way around here. So what we're looking for is a suitable place to get our spreader tool in. We're going to open the device up a bit and we're going to try and lever the corner away, which we've been able to do here. We're then going to get our metal spreader tool in there, and we're going to see if we can unclip as we go around. There we go. Just take your spreader, find the clips and unclip where you can. And I'm going to take my nylon spreader tool just to run it along the side. And around the front. And round the side. And once you've got the front released, it should be a little bit easier to get in down the sides, and just gently find the clips and release them. Same with the back. And there we go. The cover will just be removed. Okay, so let's have a look to see what we've got. So quite a basic unit inside. This is the battery, so this is you'll get around about 7.5 hours of standard usage. Over on the right and the left we've got our stereo speakers. These are 1.5 watts each. It's Dolby Audio and it's using Realtek ALC 3287, and that's pretty much it there. Over on the right hand side we've got our M.2 drive, so this is a PCIe 3 M.2 drive. This is 512 gigabytes, and that's a potential upgrade option. So there's a couple of upgrade options that you can do. So if you've noticed here, we've got a 2.5 inch drive bay that you can insert a 2.5 inch SSD drive in there if you want to. You are going to need a ribbon cable because the connector for this drive is over here. So this is our SATA connector for the M.2 drive. So sorry, for the 2.5 inch drive, which will fit in here, and then the ribbon cable will come round and insert under this little slot there. So you're going to need to get yourself a ribbon cable. This unit does not come with one. Underneath here we've got, looks like a single stick of RAM. So let's see if we can get this out just to have a look. So okay, so this is interesting. So this device comes with 8 gig of onboard memory. There's a single slot to add another RAM stick in there, but the apparently this will only support, they say it'll only support 16 gig. So the maximum internal memory 16 gig DDR4, and it's running at 3200 megahertz. So you want to get yourself another 8 gig stick which you can insert there, but make sure it's the DDR4 3200 SODIMM, and then you should be able to take, I'm not sure if it's dual channel, I'm assuming that when you insert the same type of memory it should be dual channel mode. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got a little bit of a watermark there, but that's down to the manufacturing process. Okay, so underneath here we've got our Ryzen 5 CPU. No additional graphics chip on this device. It's all on board with the processor. From the battery we've got our power going into the main board here. So if you're going to be doing any upgrades, then make sure you disconnect the battery before inserting ribbon cables or changing out the M.2 drive. So let's just have a look under the thermal pad. Okay, so this will take up to a 2280 size. So the format of this is obviously much smaller. I think this is a 2232. But this whole unit basically will, you can unscrew that here and then you can get the full length 2280 format in there. So in terms of upgrades, that's pretty much it. You can add another stick of RAM. change out the M.2 drive or add a 2.5-inch drive in there. Underneath here you've got the Wi-Fi card, so this is Wi-Fi 5. So that is it in terms of the upgrade options. Now let's talk about the screen. So the screen is a TM panels, full HD, 15.6 inch. It's 250 nits and the contrast ratio is 500:1. It does come with the LED backlight, so you should get fairly decent brightness out of it, although if you're going to be using it outside in sunlight, you unfortunately are not going to get a huge amount that you'll be able to see on it. It does come with a non-reflective screen, so it's non-touch. So we're just going to clip the panel back on all the way around. There we go. This one's fairly easy to get into, which is nice, so you can do your upgrades without too much trouble. Right, let's get the screws back in. So once you've got the initial walkthrough setup completed, let's now go in, and first thing we're going to do is to have a look to see what we get bundled with the machine in terms of bloatware. So we're going to go into apps and features. Just scroll down this. We don't need to worry about the Lenovo stuff. So McAfee LiveSafe, that's got to come off as we'll be installing our own. Apart from that, that's pretty good. So yeah, they're only bundling antivirus software on here, which, you know, I suppose is okay. We're actually going to remove that and install Bitdefender for our clients. Right, so the first thing I want to do is to have a look at the camera quality. So this is an HD 720p webcam. So let's just have a look at the quality of this. So we're going to say yes to this. Let's see if we get a flickering from our lights, which we don't, which is good. So let's go to our settings and see if we've got auto flicker reduction. Auto flicker reduction. This is a nice feature to have on laptops because it will look at your lighting, and ours flickers on 60 hertz. So 60 hertz. So we set it to that normally, but this has got auto, so it automatically reduces or removes the flicker, which is good. So video quality 30 frames a second. That's all there is to say on here, really. All right, let's have a listen to the speaker quality on this. So we're going to need to change it from our capture device. So we're going to put that back onto the speaker. Just going to step through this. I'm going to say don't allow to any of this stuff. Okay, so we can start browsing, close that down. Let's go to YouTube. Okay, so this comes with Bluetooth 5 as well. As I mentioned, it's Wi-Fi 5 on the Wi-Fi card, so some of the other Lenovos that we've had a look at recently are coming with Wi-Fi 6, which is pretty quick. Let's just find a video that we can play without getting in trouble. Okay, so let's look at this Lenovo. This was the Lenovo review we did of the 1650. Okay, so the sound quality is pretty good. No issues with it at all. Sounds nice and bassy. It's not really tinny like you get on some of them. So all in all, pretty good. So let's now talk about the cost of this. So this was £409, which I think is really good value for the money. The top of it, let's just go back. So as you can see, it is picking up some finger marks, so you're going to be cleaning it on a regular basis, really. But on the whole, for 400 quid with a Ryzen 5 5500 processor boosting up to 4 gigahertz when you need it is pretty good for the money. So if you found that video useful, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and just want to say thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.